As most of you know, it's extremely difficult right now to get a webcam, or at least a good webcam or name brand webcam. I really wanted to get a Logitech C930 or something close to it from Logitech. Can't find it anywhere, sold out, and where you do find it, there's nothing but price gouging. So I've been doing a lot of research, and I've decided to try this. Uh, it everything I've read has been very positive. Doesn't appear like it's a knockoff or anything like that. It looks like it's well designed and well built. There's no price gouging. I got it from Amazon. It's called Ostom, and I think that's the pronunciation. It's a 1080p webcam, and it's got autofocus also. You won't be able to see it, but anyway, so it's got autofocus in addition to dual microphones and what appears to be a nice picture. But we're going to see that because I currently am using an old Logitech camera as my good camera broke down on me after many years. So we're going to compare this a bit with the Logitech camera I currently have and see what we've got. So let's just open it up. This will just take a minute because there's really not much to this. So we'll open this here. And as I said, you're going to find there is nothing really to this. Actually, even the packaging itself is just so simple. I mean, these are just all the different languages here. Nothing really. Just tells me it's 10 to 30 frames per second. It's 1920 by 1080, which I already knew, and it's a USB interface. That's all it says. So there's only a couple things in here. Actually, there's only one thing in here. That's it. Nothing else in the box. So let's see what we've got. Here is the camera. And you can kind of get an idea here. It's fairly wide looking. There's the name. I did want this, by the way. I've not had a webcam before. That I could just put into a very small tripod, which I have here, that I could use on my desktop upstairs. So I am going to do that. And of course, as you would have expected, it also fits on the back of your, it's got a kind of a rubberized finish here. And so this fits on the back of your screen. And all you can see on the front is the lens and what I assume has something to do with light and dark. I don't even see the holes anywhere for the microphone input. No. But I'm sure we'll take this off. And that's it. There is nothing else to this. It's the easiest unboxing you will ever see. So let's go test it out. Currently I have a Logitech QuickCam video camera. It's rather old. It's probably 2013 vintage camera. It's a circular one, and I'll show you when I'm all done with this. The microphones I'm currently using are actually through the Logitech QuickCam, and I've had a lot of fortune with Logitech, so that's why I was looking at again purchasing it. But as I mentioned, very difficult to get. So we're going to go ahead and test this. I'll try to put it in the same spot on my display. You can see it's not very easy to read either, so the focus on the current Logitech isn't great. But anyway, I'll put this in a similar spot, And my plan is to use it actually with a tripod, a small tripod. So we're going to look at the picture, we're going to listen to the sound, and compare the two cameras. Well, I have set up the new Osdom in less than a minute. It was nothing more than a plug and play. So I plugged it in, I heard the famous Windows ding. I knew it had accepted it, and I'm looking now, there's just a bit of a blue light on the front of it. So I know that it's recording. And a couple things you have to notice, of course, the range of view. I can't remember if it's 78% or 90%. My thought is, looking at it, it's probably 78% degrees, I'm sorry. You could see the entire back wall, the two side walls. You can even see a bedroom that's over behind over my left shoulder there. You could read the words on the wall behind me. If I put, you could see focus-wise, this is just some Windex wipes, and you can kind of see as close as I get, it stays really good. And when I go further away, you could see the room brighten a bit more as I move back. And so you can see the autofocus does seem to work really well. So that works. I'm using the sound through the Osdom camera, and in a moment I'll check that out myself to see what I think. So the picture is really good. The color is great. The walls look exactly like they're supposed to. As I said, it's crisp and clear, everything that I look at. And on top of that, if the sound is as good as the picture, we have a real winner here. And the other thing is, I'll update this video on the YouTube by just mentioning in several weeks or so how it's doing. So we know that this doesn't just perform well the first few minutes. This was what it's replacing, is my Logitech QuickCam, and you could see it was as circular as I told you it was. Pretty simple camera, not much to it. Single microphone on the top versus the current one has a dual microphone. So that's going to be interesting for me to see the dual microphone. And it also has noise cancellation, which of course this didn't have any of that. So I do see a little bit of movement in and out on the picture, and I assume that's because of the autofocus. And I'm looking up at the numbers 699 on what appears to be my right, and those are still clear as could be, but I do see a little bit of movement. So I'll have to check and see if there's if I need to do any adjustments, but right this minute I don't. So this looks really good right now. I hope you agree. Well, I've listened to the sound and I reviewed the recording. A couple of things. One is the sound sounds very good. Versus the Logitech, of course, it's much better. It's very acceptable for video conferencing, which is how I'm going to use it. There is one thing I noticed, and I don't know if you could see it even right now, is as I move, I see that the picture kind of bounces a bit back and forth. I don't know if there's any adjustments on this. I'm going to check, but that's the only thing I saw so far, is that it appears that it kind of moves in and out maybe a little bit, and I have seen that before when I had another camera that had an autofocus on it, is that it would try to capture the focus as best it could. So right now I'm going to watch that. I don't really like that, and that would be troublesome for others that are watching me on the video. They'd have a lot of difficulty with the moving in and out. So I'm going to check that out again. Still very, very happy with the clarity, the crispness, the sound, so all of that works. But right now, the more I look at it, I still see some of this jumping, so I'll have to look at the settings. Well, we'll see what happens to the jitter that we had in the picture, I did find a couple of settings that are actually on the camera app on Windows here. And so right now I was able to change the brightness just a bit to bring that down. I thought it was a little bit too bright. And there is an auto focus setting and a focus setting that you could see here. I could make some changes. Right now it's on manual, and so I'm just playing with it so I know that in the background it doesn't look good. It's not focused yet. So like right there it looks pretty good, and that's a manual focus. I think that stopped the jitter also. So I'm going to, let me go down a little bit more with this. Yeah. So if you have a Windows computer and you're using the built-in app, which I am right now, you could change it to manual instead of autofocus. And it's easy to put it back to autofocus, but what I see here is it looks to me like the jitter is completely gone. I have changed the brightness from here. That's what it was, which is nice and bright, by the way. And I brought it down just a little bit. So this is pretty good. Now I'm satisfied, and I hope you like this. I put the camera on my tripod just to move it around and to see what it does, and also to see what the sound is like. So this way, instead of looking up on the top of the screen, I'm actually looking down a little bit, though this is more close to the screen. So I'm able to adjust it really easily, yet look at the screen. Of course, the negative is you see the ceiling above me, and if I moved it over here like that, you could see it's a little bit darker. So I would come over here, and I could do that to the light, and it washes it out a bit over here. I noticed that, but on the other hand, it does bring up the brightness a pretty good amount. That would be the light that it actually is right now. We're pretty close to it. This is probably a little bit closer to what the light is right now. And again, the focus, I think you could see, is good behind me. But as you want it to focus on yourself, you could see again that you're pretty able to read most everything. I'm going to bring this back to automatic down here, and I'm just curious what it does. It's on, well, when you put it on automatic, you could certainly see how it tries to focus much better on the words than if I did that and tried to figure out how to get it in better focus. So the automatic there you go. The automatic focus is really good right here, and if I move it to there, you can see like behind, you can see that's okay here, and so it looks like it sets its focus. It's on manual right now, so playing with it a bit, this is going to be the way to go. I'm pretty happy with this.